Good morning, Stampin' friends, and welcome. This is Linda Stampin' Escape, and we have some fun for you today. Frightfully fun. We are playing with a sneak peek today with the Frightfully Fun. And this is the Oh My Fright bundle that I'm working with today. So I am looking forward to sharing some cute cards with you today. And I hope you're ready for a little spookiness. So don't forget to pop in and say your name and say hello. Let me know you're watching. I appreciate that. And then we will get started. So today I'm going to focus on the bundle. So you're going to see some die cuts, and I'm going to bring that designer paper back in. So it'll be fun. We got a quick and easy card to start out with, and then a nice, fun technique for our second card. So just waiting for my computer to catch up with me here. So there we go. Good morning, Deborah. All right. Let's get started. So, you guys, if you have been watching through my Summer Ween series, you have seen the pattern paper, and we did a whole series of cards with the gray tones of this one here. So here those are. So we did these with the gray tone, and here is the one with the orange. So quick and easy, like I said, for the first one, this is an A2 size card. They both will be. So it's 4 1/4 by 8 1/2. I should say, why can't I ever say that right? It is 5 1/2 by 8 1/2, scored and folded at 4 1/4. So just your basic A2 card. So, ooh, I like this paper too. I'm going to have to make a card with that one. So we're just going to pop this right on here. We're super simple here. Okay. And then I die cut out our little ghosts. They are so cute. So with this bundle, they have the little die cut ghosts, and it cuts 3 out at once. And then they have a stamped ghost bat, a stamped bat that you can stamp and then die cut. And then this die also matches some of those bats on the designer paper. So it makes it nice and versatile. I am going to come in here and flip my little bats over. Whoops, this guy's getting away on me here. Okay, flip him over. And then we are going to take the little ones. Now, I noticed as I was prepping for all my Halloween stuff that I did not have any of the black Stampin' Dimensionals left. So I have that now on my order. So I thought I would have a fun little way to use the white ones, because now you're going to be able to see their little eyeballs when I use the dimensionals. Come on, boys. They're getting rowdy. Like spending the day with my great grandsons yesterday. So we're going to just pop these guys over our paper here. Do we want that up here? I kind of like the focus on the moon there. Okay, so we're going to put these 3 up here, and then because that's sticky, I am just going to take my Granny Apple Green and color in their eyes to kind of disguise our dimensionals there, and it gives them kind of a spooky, creepy look. You could do red too if you really want to make them scary, but we're just going to do ours green. And they kind of glow. Isn't that cool? Hi, Brenda. Welcome. So there we have that. And they look kind of spooky, don't they? So we're going to do a simple greeting, just a little happy Halloween. Some people say, oh man, I don't have a lot of time. So that's why I'd like to share one card that is kind of quick. And then, like I said, our next card, we will do a technique. So there is our happy Halloween. Just take our adhesive here. And we're going to pop this up. Again, these are those stylish shape dies. And we're going to put this out here. I'm going to bring in my paper cutter to cut this straight. Where did I want that cut? Let's flip it this way so I don't cut off too much. Cut that off. There we go. Because normally I don't. I let that till last so I can pop that up. But I am also going to pop up this. One in the middle here. Okay. Take your pick, works nice. I'm going to flip this right over here, at the base of our tree. And because all our bats are on this side, I decided to put my greeting on the opposite side. And I need to make sure that's straight. I swear I have more trouble getting my stuff on straight than anything else. Okay, I got a good even line there. Now this will look straight. Goodness. All right, girls, how does that look? That looks better. Okay, and I'm going to finish this off with some of our dots just to anchor our greeting with 3 little dots. And it kind of ties in with this. We didn't need any more embellishments other than the little circles. So they work nice. So super simple, easy to make with this pretty designer paper. So are you guys ready for the next one? Ooh, I love this one. Okay, I have to bring in a piece of paper, and I know I'm doing white on white, but once I get doing the brushes, because we're going to bring these in here, you'll be able to tell very quickly where I am doing the brushes. So I'm going to start with my Granny Apple Green. I like to work with Granny Apple Green, the Gorgeous Grape, Pumpkin Pie, and Basic Black. Those are my Halloween colors. Whoa, wrong one. The green on green. So we're going to ink this up, and you can see I'm holding the head here because they do wiggle a little bit. So I'm going to hold it here while I swirl the brush over the ink pad. And then I'm just going to tap it off to see how much I have. I got a little spot on there. Now, you won't be able to see that anyway. I'm going to go with this one. That's right in the paper. So I'm going to start. You're going to see me moving, but I'm not even touching the paper yet. And then I'm slowly going to come down. Okay. And you can see the color starting to come on there. All right. So again, I'm going to start in a rotation here, and I'm not touching. Now I touch down, and I'm going to spread that out. I'm going to leave the center a little lighter than the outside, which is okay. And you're creating a background. So it doesn't have to be perfect because there are things that are going to be over the top of it. So again, this is the Granny Apple Green. Hello, Barb, and welcome. Now I'm going to grab the Gorgeous Grape, and we're going to do the same thing. All right, so hang on to the head here while you're inking it, because I do have a little pressure going on because I want a lot of ink on this one. And I'm going to start at my corner. And normally I don't touch down that easy, but I want my corners really deep purple. So we are going to start there and start filling that in. And then I will like bump the sides up. See what I mean by bumping the side? So I'm just barely touching that. So now you can see once I have this pulled away. And then we can just keep adding. And I'm always going to start pretty close to them corners. I want them to get really nice and dark. Ink that back up. I'm going to start at this corner. Work my way back and forth a little bit. The blending brushes help you get this color on really nice. Can you do this with sponges? Yes, you can. But when you see how nice these blending brushes blend, and you start playing with them, you're going to fall in love with them. All right, let's move this way. And again, we're going to start at that corner. We're starting here. Get that deepest color right there. And then we'll bump that edge. A little bit of that Gorgeous Grape up there. And you can also go back into your green if you don't think you have enough green. I got to be careful that I'm not touching my other spots there. So if you see, I just pulled that paper over so my fingers aren't touching it. I'm not so worried about getting ink on my fingers. I'm worried about transferring the ink on my fingers to my project. Don't want to do that. All right. Go back over here and let's get this corner. Here we go. Bump that edge up there. Bring that color up. Swirl it a little bit so it blends in. And then we're going to go back in that corner again. Okay, let me see how my corners look. They look pretty dark, don't they? Okay. They look pretty dark. I am liking that. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is just come back in. I got plenty of ink left on there yet, and I'm going to, now instead of putting a lot of pressure, I'm just going to barely touch. And what I'm doing is just blending those two colors in a little bit more. So you'll see it's starting to creep up into that Granny Apple Green, but not by much. And it's just to soften those two edges so you don't have that big contrast of color. Oops, I do not want more ink. I do not at this point. Okay, so there we go. A nice soft blend. Got our edges all nice and crisp and dark. And I think I like my green just the way it is, so I'm not going to go back over. And Brenda says, you're too funny. Every time I think of a question, you answer it. Oh, that's good. Yes. I do love my sponges. Those are good for other projects. We just did sponges on our one of our projects not too long ago, right, ladies? So, and I've been giving some away because Stampin' Up doesn't sell them anymore. So I found some really good sponges like Stampin' Up used to have, and I've been kind of giving those away. So, now that we got our front piece all done, I'm going to grab my Memento ink back here and grab my greeting, which I am going to do. Get this really nice and juicy. And right in here, it's going to say boo to you. There we go. And I really want the boo to shine. That's why it went in the green. All right, we're going to move all that out of the way. Now we're going to bring out our trees. These die cut trees, I love them. And they come in the dies. And so do these little ghosts that I die cut from the shimmer paper. So wait till you look at these little guys. Aren't they cute? And I did them in shimmer paper, so they kind of sparkle. Okay. I'm checking my fingers to see how much ink I have on them. Not too much, so we're good. And I am going to pull this. I'm not sure where I want my trees to go yet. And we're going to pull in that granny apple green. Now, is that darker than the center I created? Yes, it is. But it's okay because it's all going to come together in the end because it's going to look like a spooky forest. Okay. Now, one of these, I took the adhesive back on there. I'm getting smarter on using that. I keep forgetting I have it. And it works really nice because you don't have to put all those dimensionals on it or try to glue. I'm not always got my glue down pat. So, all right. That keeps rolling all over here. We're going to start down here. And I'm going to go just off to the side a little bit. And it is okay if it hits up there. So now we got one that's down. Now what I did is I cut little pieces off of my dimensionals to put up there. You could also use your glue dots. Those would work. It won't give you quite the dimension, but you can use those for that. It'll give it a little. So it depends on how much you want. And again, as I said earlier, I ran out of the black little dimensionals. So those would have worked a little bit better with my trees. So I am going to, and yes, it's going to go over my boo just a little bit, but that's okay. And we're going to layer our trees to kind of create this fun little forest here. And then we'll work on our ghosts. Now, because I did them in that shimmer vellum, this one doesn't want to come apart here. You don't want to put the dimensionals on those because, of course, they'll show through. Even glue does, so got to be careful with that. So we're going to use glue, but we're going to use it at their little tails. Ghosts have tails. Their little end spots, whatever. Okay, now we're going to put this one right here, and it is going to go slightly off our paper. So we are going to just trim that off. And when you do that, it's okay because actually creates continuum on your paper. So now we're going to get our little ghosts in here. So out with my glue. And we're going to do just that little tip so it's hiding under the tree. So we're going to put him right here. Oops. Popping out of our tree. Isn't he cute? And we got 3 of this. We're working in 3s. Little one here. Now you can't go under that center one, remember, because that one is already right down to the front of our card. So we're going to put one here. Friends are hanging out together. If you have a friend that I used to joke with one of my friends that said, when we die, we're going to become ghosts and haunt people. So there we are with our friends. And we got one more. And he's coming over here. And again, I'm picking spots where you can see the ghost clearly, but so they are just kind of like popping out. So that is really cute. And once the glue holds, he'll be holding on perfectly fine. I'm actually going to hide this guy a little bit more. Stick him back here. There we go. Now he's caught in the branches. So we got them coming out. We got our greeting on there, boo to you. And on this one, we're just going to put the little white ones on. And we're just going to go right down here. So that'll help draw your eye down to our greeting. And they should have done this before, but we can dye these as well. So I'm just going to give those some quick color. And these are the Stampin' Blends. There we go. Once they introduced these, people just didn't need the markers much anymore. So there we go. So you get a cross between the dark color and that light in there. So it really draws your eye to it. Again, A2 size card. So 8.5 by 5.5, scored and folded at 4 1/4. Yay, I got it right this time. I don't know if it was too early for me this morning or what, but I could not say that right. Okay, and I'm just going to flip this upside down. And this is the Stampin' Seal Plus, so I'm not going all the way around like I usually do, because this stuff holds really well. Not what I recommend for scrapbooking, because that is once it's down, you are not moving it. There we go. I'm going to add just one more little layer to our dots here. There we go. Oh, I love that. And then we use that also to make the little eyeballs, our ghost eyes green. So that's it for this morning, ladies. I got 2, one quick and easy and one technique. And do you not love that background? Because it just makes those trees look so haunting. So it's our little haunting forest. So I hope you enjoyed this morning. I appreciate you coming out and joining me. And this is actually our final video for Summerween, but I have all the goodies here, so I will be sharing those. And I'll break them back out again closer to Halloween. So you'll see lots of Halloween stuff. So have fun with your day. I hope you guys get to go out and do something. And thank you again for coming out. Have a good one. Bye-bye.